Yeah, I'm Austin J. Mills, born and raised in Los Angeles. My first journey was basketball, my career in basketball, and I started at a really young age. I was undersized for the basketball world. I ended up being 6 feet at my height. I ended up being 6 feet at my peak, but ended up still playing Division I college basketball, which for me was always like a goal and a dream. But countless hours practicing in the gym. Um, I was always the guy that I stayed after practice. I was there before practice, um, and it took hours and hours of practicing to get to the point where I ended up being all-time leading scorer at my high school, and then playing Division I basketball, which actually ended up leading me to my next journey in social media. My senior year, when I was in college, I kind of realized that there was no more future in basketball for me. And I started kind of just making videos for fun on social media. And this was 2016, so before social media was really a thing. And my videos just started getting attention. I was getting thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views on my videos. And I decided to keep it going, not knowing what was going to come out of it. And so, honestly, due to the amount of time I was spending in the gym trying to get better at basketball, led me into another career in social media. And so shortly after, I had the NBA reach out and ask me if I wanted to work with them directly, which I was the first ever content creator to work with the NBA. And that was kind of the next step in my journey and kind of where it's led me today in the basketball and entertainment world, and working in social media. So I started DJing. I do content creation, obviously. I hosted for the NBA. I hosted a car show on E. Um, just a lot of things in the entertainment world that keep me busy, keep my mind working, and kind of scratch that itch of being an entertainer in my brain. I started DJing when I was in middle school. I stopped because of basketball. And then I picked it back up when I moved back to LA and missed the music side of things. I've DJ'd at the biggest clubs in LA, Miami, New York, all over the country, not really internationally yet. But it's been a really fun journey. I partnered with a friend of mine who was also a DJ, and we were making music, playing at some of the biggest venues, and it's just an awesome feeling to be able to play in front of large crowds, put smiles on people's faces, and again, entertain people. In the DJing world, I would say biggest obstacle is probably booking certain jobs, or getting, these massive crowds to come see you. The way you do that in the DJing world is by making music and creating hits. And we were doing that, but there's a difference between making music and making popular music. Getting a song to actually become a big hit, again, is extremely difficult. So I would say it was more on the music production side of things. Getting songs to actually become hits is 100% the hardest part of becoming a DJ. And I think any DJ will tell you that. And then just in terms of entertainment, constant growth. My videos when I first started were absolutely crushing. And at one point, I noticed that they start to like peak. And so you then have to figure out what that next move is for you. Is it, creating different content? Is it switching to something else? I think it's a constant chase for content creators, because you might make something that works, and then I don't know if people get tired of it or other people start to do it. It becomes competitive. But as a content creator, it's constantly finding new avenues and new lanes to continuously go viral on social media. When I first started in social media, again, this was kind of a new world to people. Not a lot of people knew, what was going on, the business that you could create from social media. And so it was new for everyone. And so figuring out how to make it a business was the most interesting part of that time. But working with brands was the biggest business aspect for me, in terms of like building my own brand, actually making money from social media. It wasn't as easy as it is today, where you can just go on TikTok, make videos, and TikTok will pay you. There weren't really those payout structures at the time. So a big part of my business was I worked with AT&T, I worked with Pizza Hut, I worked with Puma, Nike, Adidas, Jordan. I worked with, you know, some of the biggest brands in the world. And what I found was the more money that you invest into your product, into your, AKA your videos, the more money you'll make on the back end. So I realized pretty early, when content creators were doing brand deals with, let's call it Pizza Hut, they would just do a selfie video and kind of not really invest back into their product. I hired a camera crew, figured out creative, took time to, you know, figure out what might go viral for that company. And in return, I was seeing more money inbound. So now my biggest goal is to create a sports media company, which is what I'm in the process of doing. I started a podcast with two friends of mine that are also in the sports space. And so my goal in the media company is to have our show, as well as bring on other sports shows, to have a whole umbrella of sports shows under one company.